Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I definitely want to get into some fun tea here. I want to talk about the more recent or newer tattoo that Jungkook has and what the message is behind it. There was some new information that recently surfaced. I also want to get into what happens when Jungkook and RM fall in love with the same girl. So let's jump into the tea on this one. If you are new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified anytime a new video drops. And if you're a hater, I'd like to be the first to leave your hate comment, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also so you can be the first to do so. Now let's get into it. The first thing I want to get into is Jungkook's tattoos. So there was a tattoo that we saw not too long ago that was on Jungkook's arm. I mean, he has so many tattoos on his arm. And honestly, I think at this point it's probably a full-blown sleeve and we just don't know. Like, babe, just wear a tank top so we can see what's going on. But anyway, a little while ago, I would actually say a couple months ago, there was a tattoo that appeared on his arm and it had a picture of a flower with some characters kind of around it. A lot of people at this time, when a photo of the tattoo came out, thought that it was a tiger lily. While it does seem like a tiger lily now, it didn't personally make sense to me as much as why it would be, and I will explain that. Flowers in general have a very specific meaning. Each flower has a different meaning, and obviously has a different meaning to Jungkook and to BTS. This is because, if you did not know, BTS kind of started out doing the trilogy thing with like trilogy albums and stuff like that, and then collectively having a storyline through their music videos. And this was the reason why they kind of blew up. People couldn't wait for the next video. They obviously liked the music too. This was a story that was named In the Most Beautiful Moment in Life. You might have heard of it, you might have not. Now in this story, if you did not know, there was a continuous kind of flower that was shown throughout it. This appeared in the cartoon web series, this appeared in, everywhere. They called this the Smirado flower. And I think this is a made-up flower just for the sake of the story. I don't think a real flower like this exists. But if it does, I need this flower. It's the most beautiful flower I've ever seen. So my guess of the Jungkook flower tattoo, along with some other people, believe that it might not have been a tiger lily, but it had to be the Smirado tattoo. Obviously at this point I wasn't going by what it looked like, but more what seemingly made sense to me. You know what I mean? Like the tattoo artist could have just drawn the flower a little differently, or whatever, but like the intention of having a Smirado flower would have been there. And also right next to the flower, there was characters next to it which looked like Chinese characters. It looks like the Chinese character for flower. Now, it wasn't a perfect fit, and I remember at the time I thought, I was like, well, it kind of looks like it, but kind of doesn't. But at this time when I saw this and I saw these theories floating around, I was like, oh, Smirado flower. However, new information has come out, and I can't be the only one who hasn't known this. This has recently come out maybe about a week or so ago, at least from some of the recent tweets I've seen. I've seen them as recent as like 5 days ago. So we've seen the tattoo on a different angle. We love new angles. We don't get many different angles because Jungkook doesn't like to wear t-shirts and tank tops. But it does appear to be a tiger lily tattoo. And someone has drawn out what they believe the full tattoo would look like. This is based off of the On music video and pictures from the performances in which he has shown those tattoos. When I saw the On music video, it still appeared to me that it could be Chinese characters that were around the flower. Wouldn't be too off to think it was Japanese because I believe BTS knows Japanese. But ARMYs believe the tattoo says, "Please love me," which I think is so interesting. Now you might be wondering what the flower means if it's not a Smirado flower. Well, apparently if you didn't know, a tiger lily is Jungkook's birth flower. He was birthed into a tiger lily. I think that's what it means. So one interpretation of that is that he hopes to be loved by everyone since birth. Maybe asking people to be kind to him, because we all know people on the internet can be jerks, But if you do look up the meaning of tiger lily, it symbolizes confidence. It symbolizes enjoyment of life, pride, wealth, and all those type of good things. All of which I believe Jungkook has. But the one thing I think I didn't see online was that it didn't say you will be loved by other people. But Jungkook is obviously loved by other people. So I am seeing the tattoo of kind of his desire of what he wants his life to be. So the added on of the "please love me" portion feels like his way of saying that he would also like people to love him as well. A desire to have wealth, pride, happiness, all that stuff, and be loved by other people. I don't know if that's how you interpret it, and if it even means all that. It's a very beautiful tattoo. I kind of feel like those English teachers that interpret a book character, who maybe let's say has like blue curtains, and assumes that the character is like depressed because the curtains are blue, when in reality the author just like blue curtains. Like maybe I'm thinking too much. But I definitely wanted to see what other people's reaction was when they found out about this. One person on the Tweetster wrote, "Not Jungkook having a tattoo that says 'please love me', bleep, I do, breakdown." Right? I feel like it took me too long to kind of put this together, and now I'm like a little bit sad, of course. But also sad that he could potentially be saying "please love me" on his arm. Like, we love you, okay? You don't need to tattoo that. But also like literal mood, because I want people to love me too. That is what's going to be said on my tombstone, "please love me." Another tweet which I did find interesting kind of said this: Jungkook's "please love me" tattoo. Jungkook, thank you for loving me. So apparently in a live stream which I have not caught up on yet, Jungkook said, thank you for loving me. And if you connect that with the possible please love me tattoo, that makes the whole thing kind of like a deeper message. And it kind of shows the support of how much ARMYs mean to him. And then it kind of makes the tattoo a part of ARMY too, I think, in a way maybe? Or is this just the blue curtain situation again? I hate that curtain. I tend to overthink a lot of things. Especially now, I do also think that ARMYs tend to overthink a lot of the stuff that BTS does. It's hard for BTS to share different stories or different experiences, or even just like cute situations anymore. They definitely used to be a lot more open with that. People take them way too seriously now. You can't really make a joke without having some sort of backlash. Things get taken out of context and used against them. So they definitely don't talk about girls anymore and avoid the question like a plague. But recently an older video popped up. This was on my feed, and BTS was doing an interview where they actually had a fun question. This is weird to see them do kind of these hypothetical situations and questions. They likely wouldn't do it now. But the question was to all the BTS members. So they all got to answer kind of one by one. And they were asked what they would do if they all fell in love with the same girl. Which is totally currently happening because they're all in love with me. I said this before, I'll say it again. Aside from the law, what is stopping me from marrying multiple people? Nothing. I think it's legal somewhere to get married to like 50 people, and all I'm asking for is 7. But basically, all of the members except RM, Jungkook, and V would give up. Like, they would try to get everyone to agree to not date her, or they would just be like, well, she's not for me. Because I imagine that would be weird. Imagine if one of them does get the girl, and like they get married, but the BTS member still wants to be friends with the rest of BTS. Now when a BTS member comes over and then meets the girl that they once loved but could never get, that's awkward, that's weird, that's very uncomfortable. But anywho, apparently V, RM, and Jungkook all said that they would try their hardest to not regret anything. They would give it their best shot to the girl, which is so sweet. And as I mentioned before, I am so lucky to have these 3 men chase after me. However, honestly, I do think that they should just leave the girl. It's not worth it. There's always going to be some resentment there if they pursue. But V did mention how he tends to pour his heart out onto someone he loves, which I still believe is true to this day. Which could be his way of saying that he falls in love with someone so hard that he wouldn't be able to let it go, but you have to move on. I once fell in love with a straight man who was married, and I never said anything, we're still friends, but I do have to distance myself from time to time. Because when we hang out, we just get along so well. I always like laugh until I pee, and for that reason, I don't know how close we could possibly be, because I probably smell like pee all the time. I'm making a lot of pee jokes lately. I promise I'm okay. I didn't pee myself. I'm gonna stop making those jokes. But enough about my sad life. Y'all keep saying you don't believe my life is this sad. It is, I promise. I was shocked in a very funny way that Jungkook would try his best to kind of beat the other members and try to win her over. It shows his like competitive side more, you know? And he said that he would take it up to the last moment, where I guess the girl would declare her final decision like on The Bachelorette. Jungkook, you get a rose. And Jungkook would not give up on her until that moment. It's sweet. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for your comments. As always, I do have a Patreon. If you want to go over to my Patreon and kind of check that out. I have a lot of exclusive content over there that you can't necessarily see over here because it'll be blocked and copyrighted and things like that. This includes like reaction videos, like music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions, all that stuff. You can even recommend things over there, so make sure you check it out. Link is in the top of the description down below. Also, anything you contribute over there gives back to this channel and all that jazz. I have a video over there explaining that. And 2 more videos will appear on the screen at the end of this video, so click on one of those videos. I'll see you over there. Bye.